Are you ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, what do we think?
Light.
Okay, it's definitely a light.
Pink.
Okay.
Warm.
Warm or cool?
Cool.
Who says cool?
Oh, wait.
Warm.
She's warm. Definitely warm.
All right. How do we look? Here.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
We're all looking
right.
here, right? I told you, you don't look here for the undertone. Because what's happened here? You see this little bit of pink and such? This could be dehydration. This could be she walked to school in cold weather. This could be she was laying in a tanning bed. This could be she went to Florida for a holiday and got a little bit burnt and it's still here. Like, this is not correct. But this area, just turn that way for me, here is always going to be the correct tone, unless it's damaged or injured. But this is really it. This is actually a light, warm skin tone, bordering on neutral, okay? Light, warm skin tone. So, what we're going to do is we are going to take our light, warm colors, which are these three. You always check with 3 foundations, okay? Because these are all in the right category of what we want, but we just need to see the color variance. There might be some slight color variance, okay? So what I like to do when I'm testing foundation is make sure I lay them out so I remember which one is which one, okay? Like, you don't want to be doing it and they go, oh, which one matches up here now? So I do them one at a time, okay? Now, what's important when testing foundation is that you can see the color really clearly. So don't worry about coverage. Do not worry about, did I put too much makeup on? We really need to make sure we have the right color. I like to work simply with my finger, but, you know, however you like to do it, okay? And I actually apply a stripe about the width of my finger, and I'm really careful in the application. I work it into the skin, and I want the stripe to be quite long. Can you all see? It goes from here, like, all the way down, okay? I put it, yep.
This is overtone right now, right?
This is everything.
This-
we know that she is a light, warm skin tone. So I have picked all of the light foundations that would fall into that category.
Got it.
Okay? Like, she could be any one of these shades. I don't know.
I thought you were using 2. Sorry, I
No,
don't know why
I've
I
got
thought
one.
that.
Okay. So, all right. So I take it just slightly below the jawline because I want to see what it looks like against the neck. Okay. Now, this is why you always want to have your station laid out. Okay. I lay these out here so I could use them. I always clean up as I go, and you will notice that the way I clean up, I don't have scrunched up pieces of paper everywhere. Okay. I don't have like balled up Kleenex and stuff thrown around, all that sort of stuff. Even when I use Q-tips, they will all be left in a nice tidy pile like this, and I will pick them up with the paper towel, okay? I don't make a mess as I work. I'm very tidy. Trust me, if you make a mess, you spend more time cleaning up than actually getting the makeup done, okay? All right, number 2, same thing. Now be careful here that you're putting the same amount of product on. You don't want to be judging colors and there's 2 different levels of product. Turn again. Make sure you leave some space so that the colors are not too close together, and you apply it exactly the same way. You see how I'm doing that? All right, and again.
That's too dark. Yeah, it's
Is it?
too dark for sure.
It's a mirror, I tell you. And here's number 3. Now, 2 schools of thought here, people. If you are doing freelance work, i.e. like a runway show, print, whatever, you as the makeup artist will choose the color, which is what all of you were just doing, and you'll go, okay, I'm going to work with this one. If you are doing commercial work, i.e. this is a paying like bride, or you're doing makeup and the objective is to sell product, like you're working in a spa or something like that, you will never, ever choose the product for somebody, okay? So if you're working freelance, we all know which one we would pick. Just don't say anything. We all know which one we would pick, okay? However, if I'm working commercially, I will always give a mirror to the customer, okay? Hold that wherever's comfortable. I stand behind her so I can see what she is seeing. Turn her head slightly, and I say you have one here, and one here. Now don't look at the coverage. I've put a lot of makeup on you, okay? I want you just to look at the color and tell me which one you like.
The first one.
Which one is the first one, please? You see how I made her point to it? Because which one is the first one? I don't know, this could have been the first one. She could think this is the first one because it's the closest to her. Do you know what I mean? So I make her point to the one that she wants, okay? And in a commercial finish, we would then do that foundation. Now, if she said to me she wants this one here, I would do it. I would do half her face. I would give her the mirror and say, what do you think of that? And she'll go, gosh, it's a little, orange, isn't it? And I would go, a little bit. Do you want me to try one shade down? And she'll go, yeah, thanks. And I won't try one shade down. I'll then get the right one. I'll do the other half of her face. No, listen to me. I'll do the other half of her face. And I'll say, what do you think of that? She goes, oh, that's fantastic. I say, let's go with that one, right? Now, why do that? Because in a commercial setting, if I make the decisions for her, if she goes home and doesn't like it, she will come back and then return the product. And in a commercial setting, your objective is to sell product. You're going to be taking more sales classes. You're going to be learning all of these sorts of things. But if you go into commercial makeup artistry, which is a viable career option as a makeup artist, your objective is to sell product. It's not necessarily to do the best runway work. Do you know what I mean? So if you're doing freelance work, runway, print, whatever, you just go ahead and do the makeup, okay? If you're doing commercial work, make sure you walk the client through the process, okay? So, once we have selected the foundation, you see how I'm using my paper towel? Yes?
Would you even do that process for like a bride?
If the bride is paying me to do her bridal party, okay, yes, but I would be doing that in a consultation with her, because when you work with brides, you actually will go and create the look weeks and weeks and weeks before the wedding, okay? There's a whole process around that, and I'm not teaching you bridal makeup, okay? There's a whole process where you go in, you will do a full face map, a full storyboard, you'll do a full test for her, make adjustments, you get all of her feedback, write it all down, so the day of, you just go in with all of your stuff and do the work, okay? You're not doing this the day of her wedding, because she's having a meltdown already, okay? So, no, it's true, she's already got enough stress. You're not trying to figure out the right foundation for her at that point. Okay, so, I'm going to take these ones away. I may have to use some cleanser, I don't know, but it seems to be coming off all right. Like so, like so, like so. All right, I'm going to take this just so they can see. Normally in a commercial setting I would leave the mirror here, but so you can see what I'm doing, I'm just going to work this away. Okay, so how do you adjust the coverage level? You will never apply makeup with your hands. You can do some blending and stuff later, that's fine, but not application. There are two brushes here that you can choose from. You have your liquid foundation brush, and you have what is technically a blush brush. But remember I said to you when we did the tools lecture, you can use any brush for anything. Here's the simple rule. The more tight the fiber, the more coverage you will get. The more open and loose the fiber, the more sheer the coverage will be. So I'm going to show you both here so you understand, okay? But depending on what type of coverage we want to create here, I'm going to change the tool but use the same product, okay? So on one half of the face here, I'm going to do a medium coverage, and on the other half of the face, I'm going to do a sheer coverage with the exact same product. Now listen, makeup companies want you to think that they have different formulas that will give you different coverage. It's not really true. Okay, really and honestly, it's not true. With a minor bit of viscosity change, most of them, I would say 95% of them, could all be sheer, medium, or full, depending on the brush you work with. But the reason that they are promoted and spoken about as a sheer, medium, or full formula is because consumers don't know how to do this. So you have to remember what I'm talking to you about is there's makeup artistry, and then there's what the consumers do. And as a makeup artist, you have the tools to make your product work differently, okay? In a commercial setting, we would say to a customer, no, this is the sheer formula, and put it on them, okay? Does that make sense for everybody? All right? Yeah. But don't fall into the trap of thinking if you're working with what's quote-unquote a medium coverage foundation, but you want sheer finish, that you can't create it. You can. You just have to know which tool to work with, okay?
Would you recommend, say, selling the blush brush as your foundation?
What I do is,
to get that sheer coverage?
I can, but what I normally find with consumers is that just ends up confusing them. So I sell them the thing that says sheer because that's what they want to see, okay? So, but that's getting into more of the sales training that you'll do with me in later semesters, okay?
I probably took it. I took it in this fall.
All right, well, that's fine. It's fine. You're not in the rest of this program?
Not yet, not till next semester.
Well, that's what I mean. You're going to sign up for next semester, right? Then if you are continuing on, because you're all first semester in this right now, right? If you are continuing on in this program, you will be taking a sales training class with me. I have a whole 15-week course.
The makeup counter?
You guys are you're in the cosmetics program?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll take cosmetics counter management,
Right.
which I teach, and there is a 3-week componentry in that of selling products.
Isn't there? I think we also have like a sales and marketing like.
That's not my class. That's a different class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's more marketing and branding and stuff like that. Mine is specific, like all these little tips and tricks that I'm
Okay,
teaching you right
perfect.
here. Okay, so you will take that course with me. Okay, so I take some product. I work it onto my brush. Okay, got it? You see how I coat the brush well. There's no one area of the brush that isn't got an equal amount of product on it. So I'm not working with the tip, I'm not just like on one side, okay? When you apply makeup, you apply, then blend. You're not going to paint here, okay? You apply and then blend. So what I like to do is I like to apply the product like so. Do you see how I'm doing that? Pressing it into the skin, being very careful around the eye area, okay? I'm barely even lifting that off the face, okay? Just pressing, 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 getting into all the little areas of the face. Do you see how I'm not blending anything. I'm applying the product first, and I'm getting it into all the areas that I want to have foundation. Look to me for 1 second, thank you. You see how I'm creating the coverage? I'm so working with brush. Now that it's on, you see it's not blended, it doesn't look nice yet. Now, I take any excess product out of the brush. This is why I said you need a clean working space. You see what I'm doing here? All this makeup that's on here, I don't want this on the skin. Had I tried to blend with this brush without doing this first, I would be adding more makeup. You can see the coverage. I have enough coverage here, okay? You all agree? You all see that, okay?
Yeah.
I built the coverage, now I'm going to blend it out. So once I have this fairly clean brush, I go back in and I blend. And I just get rid of any hard lines of makeup. What I mean by that is if I can see the demarcation, I want that softened up, okay? If I can see any streakiness, I want to blend it, turn to me, until I don't see any streakiness. You will notice I'm not going past the jawline. Close. So I'm looking for streakiness. Now the one thing you want to do with your makeup is stand back from it. Okay, just turn to me. Thank you. You stand back from your makeup. When you're this close, you won't see the flaws. When you stand about 1.5 to 2 feet back, you can actually start to go, oh, I can see where I need to blend that a little bit more, okay? You will start to see the flaws right away. So always be standing back from your makeup. Like so. See, there's no makeup in this brush right now. Okay, and then we can create foundation. Okay.
Two different faces.
There is no makeup past this line here, so tip your head all the way up for me. You will see the color is almost exactly the same all the way up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
We've picked the right foundation for her. And look how much makeup I still have left on the back of my hand.
Wow.
If you use the right tool, you don't waste any of your product either. Now, as a makeup artist, this is very important because you constantly have to be replenishing your kit, okay? And the truth is, that gets expensive. So the less you waste, the more profitable your work will be as a makeup artist. That's why tools are so important, okay? So I used like the size of a pea, and I still have enough to do the other half of the face here, okay? Makes sense for everybody?
Yeah.
That's why tools are so important. Now, before I move on, I always give my brush a final wipe so that makeup doesn't dry in it. So when I go to wash this, it'll be easier to do, okay? So just like so. And then I can move on to the next thing, okay? Yep.
So for that, would you recommend that either like a Kleenex or the towel would
The
be
towel
better?
works better, or paper towel, whatever you have handy. I don't
Okay.
like Kleenex because it tends to leave fluff everywhere, but I generally will do it on a towel like this that I can wash, just because I don't like throwing all this stuff away. I'm doing it here because I can't wash these, but I set it up so you can see what it would look like. Okay? I mean, there's no washing machine in this room, obviously. But in real life, I would use a towel, and I would take them and I would clean them up, okay?